Alright, I'm just going to show my DM warm-up here. So go to play offline with bots. Go into here, workshop. I don't have my Steam overlay enabled, but if it's enabled, I think you just hit view workshop and you're going to find aim space bots with a Z. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is close 3 of these walls. Yeah, and everyone should be spawning in the wall in front of me. So I'm going to do like just 2 bullet bursts on all these guys. Part of the reason I don't want to sit still and just cycle through the targets is because a lot of it is getting your keyboard hand warmed up. So I'll just show you what I do really quick. Note that like every kill I make, I'm kind of like starting and stopping left and right, because this is more like how you're gonna actually shoot in game. So you don't want it to be just standing still like a turret, and you don't want to be, you know, stopping and taking really long pauses. You want to make it like as quick and concise as possible. Okay, after I've done that for a bit, if you're struggling, by the way, like that was actually not very good for me, but just make sure that your bullets are going right where you want when you stop. So if you're having issues, just shoot a bunch against the wall and make sure that every bullet is going where your crosshair is going. If you're moving, they'll shoot all over the place. Like that one went down there. They're just kind of going random directions. So just make sure that everything is really smooth and concise. So you should have none that jump all over the place. And the faster you can do that without, you know, stopping and messing up, then the easier it's going to be. So that's like the first part of it. I'm just going to do r_clear decals. So the second part is working on my sprays with my AK and my M4. So I usually just put a few rounds into the wall to make sure it's okay. Should get at least like a somewhat tight circle. And so if you're having trouble, like if you're just going, like your first couple sprays aren't very good against the wall, then usually one thing I'll do is I'll just sit here and let my full spray unload and just kind of like see how it works. And I think that helps next time I go to try it. So you get an idea for like, okay, that's how much you pull to the right, and then that's how much you pull to the left. So yeah, and there it's already better. And there we go, that's like a really good one. So I just do that with both the M4 and the AK. I'll do the M4 in a second, and then I'm going to go back here and just focus on my spray transfer. So I'm just gonna, I have my unlimited ammo on, but I'm gonna pretend like I have a 30 bullet clip. I just kind of have like a feeling for how long it lasts, and just cycle through all the targets. Basically trying to get as big of a multi-frag and 30 bullets as I can, and ideally trying to get headshots here. Okay, and after I've done a couple just straight transfers like that, I'm going to start utilizing the movement a little bit, how I actually win in game. So just to show here, like if you're doing like a normal, like let's say your first like 10 bullets, how they just go kind of like down vertically, I'm pulling down, you know, fairly hard on this. But if I were to like crouch, it pulls down a lot for me, so I only have to, instead of pulling down maybe from there to there, I'm only going here to here with a crouch. Because your crosshair drops when you crouch, obviously, but like you can see visually it's going about that distance. So work a bit on like spraying and crouching, and then I'm going to come back and apply it to in-game. By the way, if you are crouching and moving, your spray is like perfectly accurate, and it's really common to use that in game. So yeah, you should get used to being able to hit a pretty decent spray and moving like that. Another thing to note too is if you're spraying and then you like move standing up and then you stop yourself after, your spray will continue just how it was before. So if I'm like moving around, didn't mean to switch there. So see, I can like kind of reset and get it exactly where it was before. So you can try that a little bit, just move around, try and reset. And then just try and like mix all these things in together to just get like a complete feel for your spray. When your spray's second nature, the game becomes a lot easier because you're not thinking about it at all. Okay, I'll switch to this M4 since I know that's what you guys use. So start on the spray, I'll just let one go on the wall. Alright, so I'm down, pulling right, and then pulling left pretty hard. Cool. Alright, we're going to take it over here. As you can see, my spray is definitely not as good with this gun. Been using the silencer for too long. Okay, and same thing, we're just going to start mixing in more of the movement. Okay, so yeah, that's how I warm up with my rifles, and I would do the same thing probably with an M4 where I just do little 2 burst taps. It's not that important, honestly. If you just do it with one of the guns, they feel pretty similar. The biggest difference is not actually that this one won't kill them in one headshot. The biggest difference is you move slightly faster with an AK than you do with an M4, so it's going to feel like a little bit more like kind of slippery, I guess. It's like a little bit faster acceleration. So yeah, then I would just do the same thing for like a minute. So just to get the idea of the time, I would like do 2 burst taps for maybe like 2-3 minutes total. Switch, do sprays for about 2 minutes. And that's honestly like a 5-minute warm up there. I feel pretty good just going in and playing games. I usually don't even do this, but if I was serious about playing, like if I was doing league matches that day or something, then yeah, I would do this warm up every time. So if you're offing, switch the off really quick. Usually just make sure you can get like a few bullets, just kind of going left, strafing, and not doing what I'm doing right there. Just make sure you can stop and shoot him on time. Alright, then I would practice kind of how you crouch peek angles. So again, like your crosshair, it drops a little bit, So this will be a good way to not mess up and hit the wall there. So just getting used to how you'd peek angles. Just like the rifles, op is totally accurate when you're crouching and moving, so you know, if you're peeking around a corner, don't worry about stopping. Alright, and then after I just do a couple bullets like that, I'm going to start doing flicks from all the different directions. So I just pick like a spot to the right and try and flick to the left. And then I'm going to go from the other side. Alright, and after I do like a little bit more of that, you can do vertical. It's a lot harder than it looks because you hardly ever have to shoot like this in game, but and then go from like under and shoot up. This is by far less important than your left or right. Alright, cool. See that for a little bit, and then I'll just go like at an angle. Just try from like every different diagonal angle. You can mix in crouches, start doing it at the same time, like crouch at an angle. You just want to get used to every kind of shot and basically how your crouch affects your crosshair placement, and just getting used to every kind of flick. You could even do like some double scope at a distance, probably worth it just to get a feel for that. Alright, and that would be my op warm-up. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I would really try and focus on making sure that that your bullets are accurate when you stop. Like a ton of aiming is getting your two hands synchronized. If you're constantly, you know, not stopping on time, that's especially for like non-pros. If you were to watch like a pro DM, they're not going to waste any time doing that because it's completely second nature for them. Even like the spraying, they're probably going to spend a whole lot of time doing that because it's just committed to their muscle memory. They don't have to, so they're just DMing to warm up. But if you're DMing to improve your mechanics, then stuff like that is really important. So you should be able to you know, spend 5 to 10 minutes every day, even if you don't plan on pugging or scrimming or anything. But even if you just spend 5 to 10 minutes every day spraying, within like a month your sprays are going to be just way better, to hopefully the point where you just are able to log on and not have to think about it. So anyway, I think that'll help.